Thousands of years ago, a brilliant and advanced civilization descended into oblivion, tragically swallowed by the depths of the ocean. To speak of Atlantis is to invoke a legend that persists like a shadow, lurking at the limits of history and mythology. But what if I told you that Atlantis is not lost history? What if, instead of a simple fairy tale, the Atlantean civilization was a key to unlocking the mysteries of other equally vanished civilizations? What we know about Atlantis and its connections with other ancient cultures is far from just a historical curiosity. It is an enigma that could reveal humanity's fundamental secrets. They think that Atlantis, with its profound wisdom and advanced technology, was not an exception, but part of a cosmic pattern of high civilizations that flourished, fell, and were forgotten, only to leave traces of their deeds in every part of the planet. These traces, distributed strategically, were waiting to be unveiled by those who dared to look beyond the surface. In this video, we will explore the connection between Atlantis and other lost civilizations. Let's investigate how societies that flourished before us left enigmatic signs, and how these signs, far from being simple coincidences, were apparently designed for a greater purpose. Stay tuned, for as we delve into the depths of ancient esoteric texts and hidden wisdoms, you will receive the understanding that the secrets of Atlantis are not just in the past. They are keys to the future of humanity. Now join me on this journey along a hidden path where ancient truths began to be revealed. But brace yourself, because not everything will be as it seems, and what you learn today could transform your understanding of the world forever. Atlantis, as many know, was first described by Plato, the great Greek philosopher, in his dialogues Timaeus and Criticisms, written around 360 BC. However, Plato's accounts are not just tall tales, but part of a much deeper mystical tradition, passed down by ancient sages who kept secrets of universal wisdom. According to Plato, Atlantis was a prosperous civilization, governed by wise kings, which lived in harmony with cosmic laws and possessed advanced technology that surpassed anything we knew. However, in an act of arrogance, the Atlanteans lost the favor of the gods and were punished with the total destruction of their land, which sank into the ocean in a single day and night of misfortune. But what Plato didn't say, and what few know, is that the myth of Atlantis is not exclusive to ancient Greece. Similar records can be found in different parts of the world, from ancient cultures like the Mayans, the Egyptians, to the Native Americans. These civilizations, in many forms and myths, refer to a time when the earth was ruled by divine or semi-divine beings, whose technologies and philosophies are considered to transcend the limits of time and space. The idea of ancient civilizations that possessed knowledge so vast that it could alter the laws of nature is not new, but it is a constant in esoteric texts and occult traditions. This knowledge was, for a long time, hidden from the public eye, either out of fear or for the convenience of those in power. We know that, throughout history, the great mysteries have been purely erased. Entire empires, such as the Egyptian, Mesopotamian, or even the civilization of ancient India, have hidden or lost over time key pieces that connected us with the vast knowledge of our ancestors. Why were these civilizations so far from current reality? How could such profound knowledge disappear so suddenly? Esotericism offers us a clue. What we understand by lost civilizations is, in fact, a cosmic cycle of rise and fall, a test for humanity that repeats itself from time to time. The purpose behind the fall of Atlantis, as well as other civilizations, is a cosmic reminder that all knowledge, however divine, must be used wisely and respectfully. However, there are those who believe that Atlantis was not the only civilization of its kind, but one of many. There are echoes in many cultures of an ancient oneness or a golden age, when humans and gods coexisted, sharing secrets of the universe. These echoes appear in texts such as Zohar, in Jewish Kabbalistic traditions, or even in the Vedas of India. The connection with Atlantis and these other lost, often overlooked civilizations is vitally important to understanding our role in the cosmic cycle. After all, forgotten civilizations may actually be holding the answers to the deepest questions of our existence. Throughout this video, you will discover that Atlantis is not just a lost civilization, it is a symbol of a universal cycle, a reflection of our own destiny. And the fragments of this forgotten wisdom live on, awaiting those interested in unraveling the mysteries of the past to illuminate the future. What exactly do we know about Atlantis? Most information about this civilization comes to us in a fragmented form, often shrouded in myths and allegories. However, by looking at ancient accounts with an esoteric lens, we can begin to discern the key elements that define this enigmatic society. The first thing to understand is that Atlantis was not just a physical civilization, but a reflection of a deeper cosmic order, a microcosm of the universal laws that govern both the human spirit and the cosmos. According to Plato, Atlantis was an abundant land, rich in natural resources with advanced technology that could control nature and even manipulate cosmic forces. This was not just science, but a combination of spiritual wisdom and occult knowledge. Atlantean philosophy was based on a deep connection with universal spiritual principles. Through rituals and spiritual practices, they were apparently able to access a source of knowledge that made them able to understand natural laws in a way that has eluded most civilizations. This wisdom was expressed through sacred geometry, a cosmic language that is reflected in the architecture of Atlantis. The Atlantean pyramids and temples, for example, were aligned with celestial cycles, planetary movements, and the energies of the cosmos. In fact, sacred geometry was the key to everything, from building their technology to preserving spiritual and scientific knowledge. But what else should we understand about this forgotten wisdom? The secret of Atlantis and other lost civilizations lies not just in its architecture or its inventions, but in understanding how the human mind and the cosmos are interconnected. The Atlanteans had a deep understanding of cosmic energy and how it could be channeled to create a perfect balance between the physical and the spiritual. For them, matter was not separate from spirit, but a reflection of it. The true science of Atlantis was not a materialistic science, but a spiritual science that transcended the limitations of time and space. The Atlanteans, like other esoteric initiates of various traditions, practiced a form of spiritual alchemy, seeking internal transformation and the ascension of their souls. The idea was to achieve perfection, not through brute force or domination over nature, but through harmony with it. They understood that true power was not in control, but in integration, a lesson that, if understood correctly, could change the way we live today. Throughout this study, you will come to realize that the Atlanteans were not only superior in a material sense, but in fact were deeply connected to the universal truths that govern the cosmos. This knowledge, which has been carefully guarded and hidden over the centuries, may be a key to unlocking a new understanding of our own ability to transcend physical and spiritual specifications. Now that we understand the foundations of Atlantis, as a civilization that transcended the boundaries of material science to delve into a spiritual science, we recommend exploring more deeply the mysteries surrounding the connection between Atlantis and other lost civilizations. Throughout history, the remains of these enigmatic cultures have often been distorted, misinterpreted, or simply ignored. But myths and traditions hold secrets that, when analyzed in the right light, reveal surprising patterns. A clear example of this are the similarities between the pyramids of Atlantis and the pyramids of Egypt. At first glance, they simply appear to be imposing constructions, but if we delve deeper, we will realize that both structures are structured for a function far beyond architecture. Both were focused on aligning human beings with the cosmos. In Atlantis, the pyramids were places of initiation and spiritual transformation. They were constructed with exact mathematical proportions, reflecting universal laws, and served as access points to the higher dimensions of knowledge and consciousness. The same philosophy permeates the Egyptian pyramids, which were not just tombs, but centers of esoteric wisdom, where the pharaoh, as priest-king, connected with the gods and the spiritual plane. This relationship between Atlantis and Egypt is just one of many that make us realize that we are not just dealing with isolated civilizations, but with an interconnected network of cultures that share ancestral knowledge. In fact, the very concept of lost civilizations begins to change as we realize that these cultures have been part of an interconnected system of cosmic wisdom. The very idea of loss becomes relative, as this knowledge, even if lost, in historical terms remains present, buried in myths, ruins, and ancient ruins. Another fascinating point is the connection between Atlantis and Mesoamerican civilizations, such as the Mayans and the Aztecs. These people, in their own myths and traditions, speak of a golden age that preceded their existence, when superior beings, often described as gods or demigods, brought advanced teachings on astronomy, mathematics, and spirituality. These teachings are admittedly similar to what Plato described for Atlantis. The lost city of Teotihuacan, for example, in the central region of Mexico, has a pyramidal structure and a geographical layout that refers to the cosmic connection that the Atlanteans had with universal energies. And here a disturbing question arises. Were these civilizations not simply successors, but in fact heirs to a wisdom that transcends time? Did the Mayans, with their precise astrological awareness, or the Egyptians, with their in-depth knowledge of geometry and astronomy, receive their lessons directly from Atlantis? And even more, what happened to the knowledge that these civilizations kept? Why were they hidden or distorted over time? As we move forward to understand the true nature of these lost civilizations, a crucial concept emerges. The wisdom they possessed was not just a technique or technology, but an expanded awareness of the unity between man and the cosmos. These cultures understand something fundamental, that physical reality is merely an expression of a higher spiritual order. What we see as magical or supernatural is actually a form of science that recognizes that everything in the universe is interconnected, and that the key to unlocking this power lies in understanding and integrating cosmic forces. Lost civilizations like Atlantis were not just masters of matter, they were masters of energy and consciousness, with a mastery over the invisible world that seemed to transcend time and space. And most importantly, they knew that this knowledge could not be used in a selfish or destructive way. The fall of Atlantis, as Plato suggested, was a reflection of this loss of balance, an eternal reminder that wisdom must be wielded responsibly. As you move forward, keep in mind that these civilizations are not just relics of the past. They are echoes of knowledge that can still be accessed if we have the right key. Now that we've unlocked the mysteries of Atlantis and its connections to other lost civilizations, we can begin to explore how these ancient teachings still have a profound impact on our lives today. After all, the true purpose of understanding these civilizations is not just to admire what they achieve, but to integrate the knowledge they possess into our own daily practices, so that we can transcend the limitations of the material world and achieve a state of balance and harmony with the cosmos. The first practical application that we can derive from these ancient wisdoms is the power of sacred geometry. If the Atlanteans and Egyptians used geometry to align their buildings with cosmic forces, why not use these same principles to align our lives? Sacred geometry is not just a language for architects and mathematicians. It is a key to understanding universal harmony. In its simplest form, it teaches us about the golden ratio, the relationship between parts and the whole, and the natural symmetry that permeates everything around us. One practice you can start to incorporate into your life is meditation using sacred geometry patterns. Visualize, for example, the flower of life, one of the most powerful forms in sacred geometry. By focusing your mind on reproducing these patterns, you begin to tune your being to the cosmic frequencies these patterns represent. This exercise can help you transcend linear and materialistic thinking, allowing you to connect with a deeper flow of intuitive and spiritual wisdom. Another important practice we can learn from Atlantis is an art of spiritual transformation. In many esoteric traditions, alchemy is seen as a metaphor for the process of self-transformation, where matter, or in the human case, the psyche, is refined and purified to achieve perfection. The Atlanteans, like the alchemists of the Middle Ages, knew that the true goal of transformation was not to dominate the outer world, but to transform the inner world, to elevate consciousness and harmonize with universal laws. Today, we can apply this wisdom by focusing not only on achieving material goals, but also on cultivating an inner state of peace, balance, and expanded consciousness. To do this, practice daily rituals of self-knowledge and reflection. It can be as simple as writing in a journal every morning or evening, reflecting on your interests, feelings, and progress. Or it can be deeper, like practicing a media or technology fast for a period of time, allowing your mind to calm down and you to reconnect with your inner essence. However, it is important to remember that transformation, as the Atlanteans understood, does not happen overnight. It requires patience, commitment, and above all, the willingness to look within. An additional technique that many ancients used to expand consciousness was the practice of astrological alignment rituals. The Atlanteans, like the Egyptians and other ancient civilizations, knew that the universe is in constant motion and that the positions of the planets and stars affect our personal energy. By creating moments of reflection on specific data that coincide with important cosmic events, such as equinoxes or eclipses, you can align your energy with the forces of the cosmos, bringing more clarity and power to your decisions. The key to these practices is intention. The Atlanteans understood that behind every action there is an energy that is directed by pure intention. So, when performing any of these rituals or practices, it is essential that you are completely present and committed to your transformation. Like the wisdoms of Atlantis, your journey of self-knowledge and enlightenment begins with the practice of aligning your life with the natural laws of the universe, always seeking harmony and balance. These practices are not just esoteric techniques. They are ways to recover and apply the lost wisdom of our ancient civilizations. By integrating these lessons into our everyday lives, we can not only improve our own lives, but also begin to heal the disconnections that have saved us from the true nature of the cosmos. As we approach the end of this mystical and revealed journey, we are called to reflect on what to learn and, more importantly, what we can apply to our lives today. Atlantis and the lost civilizations are not just traces of a distant past, but echoes of a wisdom that transcends time and that in some way remains alive in us. They offer us a vision of the world where the physical and the spiritual are intertwined, where true science is not separate from consciousness, and where the purpose is not to dominate, but to harmonize with cosmic forces. The mystery of Atlantis teaches us that true power comes not from technology or control over the material world, but from the ability to transcend our human limitations and align our lives with universal laws. Sacred geometry, spiritual alchemy, and cosmic rituals are more than just ancient practices. They are paths to true inner transformation. They offer us tools to go beyond the superficiality of the modern world and seek a deeper understanding of our own nature and the cosmos. The question remains, what will you do with this knowledge now that it has been revealed? Will you feel called to explore these ancient traditions more deeply and apply them to your life? Or will you simply leave them as a distant concept like so many done before you? Remember, the secret of Atlantis was not lost forever. It is within our reach, in the stars, in the geometric shapes that govern the universe, and in the ancient practices that wait to be rediscovered. The key is in our hands, and the time to remember these teachings is now. I invite you to explore this wisdom deeper and apply these insights to your daily life. In doing so, you will not only be consulting the power of past civilizations, but also contributing to the creation of a more conscious future aligned with the laws of the cosmos. The true awakening of Atlantis is not just in the memory of its temples and pyramids, but in the transformation of each one of us. If this content resonates with you, please share your thoughts, your experiences, or any insights that have emerged along this path. The search for wisdom is a collective journey, and together we can remember the secrets of the past to shape a brighter future.